It's the Schmoes No Podcast. It's another day. It's another time. It's the Schmoes. All right, now a lot of changes. A lot of changes all the way around the board. It is. Am I on?
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I'm on the show? No.
Yes, and that's one of the unfortunate changes this week. A lot of changes here, Schmo.
Always so welcoming.
It was cold.
I know. That's what I do. I'm rude.
So I could do this for 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Matt. All right. So here's a couple. So last week we said that the show was going to be about video game adaptions or
in celebration of Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes,
talk about animation, video games.
Don't lie, you guys were trying to tempt me back after all the terrible horror movies.
That's the truth. Do we want to? Yeah,
lollipops and daisies.
And we were going to have Matt Mercer on, who has joined us today, and we'll get a little bit more about what Matt does and why he's here to join us. But we were going to have him talk about the video game movies, and then something happened. Something happened in the world, not just in Schmoville.
Something life-changing.
Something
listen to this guy's voice. I can't wait to hear this stuff. But then something happened. We decided we had to change the whole thing. So it was going to be, okay, look, it's going to be Katie. It's going to be myself. Then Tiffany we're going to bring in, too, because it was going to be Christmas for me. I was going to have a beautiful girl on my right, beautiful girl left. Now I'm surrounded by this. But because Katie is not going to be here today. And the reason why is that she's not feeling well. She went to that house on haunted, whatever the hell it's called, the haunted mirrors or whatever, Universal. And she went there for Halloween. I don't know what the hell it was.
Just name them all.
Haunted mirrors.
Just some scary place.
Something with strobe lights, and she's having horrible headaches, and she can't make it in today. So Schmoeville, tweet her out there, and
now that we've just told people that.
Well, she's not feeling well. She'd be, you know her. She'd be talking about it anyway. At Katee Sackhoff, and just tell her you hope she feels better, and then we'll see her back next week. The simpleton that I usually do the show with, Mark Ellis, will be calling in to talk some stuff. But let's get to our guests. We have Ken Napzok, our producer, who's here as always. How are you, Ken?
Thank you. Glad to be back on the show. I've been on the show more now than Mark since I took the behind-the-scenes role, but I'm glad to be here. Mark making the yucks up in Seattle.
That's right, he is. And we are joined by Tiffany Smith, coming back, Schmoeville favorite.
Sorry, guys, I have a little bit of like a man voice tonight.
I think it's more ScarJo stuff.
And I
think sexy.
Yeah, there's a topic we're going to talk about that everyone in Schmoeville is ready to talk about, but I got a lot of tweets today about your costume last night.
What is it? Someone tweeted.
Guys,
tweeted in our costume.
I totally fangirled last night, and I feel like if you're going to do a costume, you got to do it right. So I was totally Wonder Woman. Corset, short shorts, I know. Normally I'm like, I'm not going to be that girl that's going to dress sexy, but Wonder Woman's costume is sexy, so there you go. I did it.
And you didn't wear it here. Thank you for nothing.
As long as you didn't make a
I told you I would if everyone else dressed up, so that's
I'm
on
dressed
you.
up. I have a stormtrooper playing a guitar on my shirt.
This is as much as I did.
Hamburglar solo.
What did you say? See, listen. Now, and by the way, that
voice you hear,
that horrible, disgusting voice you're screaming in the corner is Jeff the engineer, who's yelling and screaming at me already. We're 2 seconds in, and he's yelling at me. Okay, so but besides the lovely Tiffany, besides Jeff the engineer and Ken, we are joined by a very special guest today, Matt Mercer. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Very well. See, you hear that voice?
Talk about a sexy
Kenny,
voice.
tell her about the voice.
Well, okay, this is, I'm very happy to have Matt on the show. Matt and I have been friends now for 2 weeks. No,
I was going to say.
We've known each other a couple of years, worked on some stuff together.
Come on over. You can meet Katee Sackhoff, I swear.
Yeah,
no, it was great. He got me change a tire and everything.
And then you get me.
One guy turned deserves another.
But he is a talented actor, a talented voice actor, known for Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 6. Am I correct, sir?
You are indeed correct.
Absolutely. And also Tigra on Thundercats. Last week I called it Tiger Cats because I was thinking about Tigra and cats. And also...
You didn't call it. You Will Ferrelled me Anchorman style.
That's true.
He put it on a piece of paper and he said Matt Mercer from Tiger.
And you just read what I said. And of course, I think you have a cult following for your co-creation and directing of There Will Be Brawl, the seminal web series. That you can explain what that is.
That was about 2009 or so. It was one of the first, like, a major geek-centric fan film web series that kind of came out on its own budget. But it's a film noir, live-action HBO crime drama version of the Nintendo universe.
Wow, really cool.
So it's like dystopian.
The first scene is Peach on top of Mario.
And is that Machinima?
We have it on Machinima, but originally it was through The Escapist.
Oh, okay, very cool. And where can Schmoeville find that right now if they want to watch
it? Find it on therewillbebrawl.com.
Great.
All the episodes are up.
Check that out, guys, because that sounds like right up our alley.
It's fun.
All right,
if for nothing else, to hear his voice.
What's up, Ken?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
You ready to say something?
Yeah,
So
no.
we're going to get Matt's also here though too, because again we were going to talk video game stuff and a lot of voices but he knows we have to change the subject today because of what's going on, and Matt's going to come back and we'll talk about video game movies at another time.
Wait, what's going on?
This our intern. We're talking about our intern. He's going through a crisis.
I spent like 3 hours going over the material.
He looks like he's crying in the
What?
corner.
He's turned in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
You're in the corner Blair Witch style. No one can see it. Josh is turned to the wall.
Josh, the intern. Now we did something actually really. One of the great things about having Josh is that Mark and I get these press conference invites all the time to go like for interviews and stuff, and we just can't ever make them. AK, we're lazy.
Yeah.
And we send Josh now, and he got a question off to Russell Brand today.
Brand, yeah.
And we're going to play that later, and we're going to tell him everything he did wrong. So that being
You
said,
did an awesome job.
you stop it! Don't encourage him. Okay, so now Ken, we do a little special segment that's the news, and Ken has been doing that every week. Jeff, the engineer, is going to bring up the music, and as soon as it does, we're going to hear the headlines, and then we'll talk about it.
That is right, Schmoville. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines. The buzz on Skyfall has been great. Some pegging it as the best Bond film of all time. Sit down, George Lazenby. And now the box office is backing that claim. Skyfall, the 23rd Bond film, nearly scraped the $80 million mark in its first few days of release in the international market, and that has now been updated to over $100 million. It also set an opening day release record in England with $32 million. Wow. Many expect it would be the first Bond film to pass the $200 million mark in America, which is probably why word is out that John Logan has already started writing the 24th and 25th Bond films, but no confirmation as to when Billy Dee Williams will take over the Bond role. Casting news. Do you live in Hollywood? Have you taken an acting class? Are you available next Wednesday? Good, because everyone else in Hollywood is being cast in George Clooney's next project, The Monuments Men.
What's that?
Daniel Craig.
This is the one that you picked?
Daniel
Go
Craig,
ahead.
Bill fucking Murray, John Goodman, Downtown Abbey's Hugh Bonneville, and Bob Balaban are all in talks to be in the
Downton
film.
Abbey?
Yeah.
Downtown Abbey. What did I say?
Tiger Cats.
Downtown Abbey?
You said Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats.
Now on Downton Abbey.
As well as Kate Blanchett and the French dude from The Artist. The film will be based on the book The Monuments Men, Allied Heroes, Nazi Thieves, and the Greatest Treasure Hunt in History. Clooney will co-star, co-write, direct, and he will also cater, hold the boom, and kiss you better than you've ever been kissed. Frank Grillo has been officially added to the cast of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That I heard.
He will be playing mercenary assassin Crossbones in a related story, Who's Frank Grillo?
Yeah.
And finally, some little company with a mouse-themed amusement park bought a franchise of space movies. Hope that works out well for everyone involved. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines.
All right, the headlines. So look, let's be honest here. We're not going to talk about any of those.
I had 4 other stories when the story broke, and I had to literally
throw everything
it up
out.
and throw it away.
So I understand why you picked the Clooney one, because there's no way we're talking about that. It's all about Star
I'm
Wars.
auditioning Wednesday, by the way.
Oh yeah,
No, I'm not.
It is all about Star Wars, guys. It's the big, huge news. It's tremendous news. It's news that some people, like myself, are thrilled about. There are naysayers out there. There are people who don't like it and love it. And we're talking about the fact that Disney has bought Lucasfilms. What does it mean? What does it mean for the future of Star Wars? They said that Episode 7 is coming out in 2015. So we're going to talk about all of this stuff. We're going to talk about speculation about maybe who's going to direct it, and if we like it, and what we think, what direction it can go to. It's just like the potential is out there. So is this podcast, because it can go in any direction. We can do anything. And the funny thing is, how I heard about this, Mark and I were actually meeting. We had a meeting with Machinima, and we were sitting there. We were leaving. As we're leaving, I'm driving back, and I get a tweet from fucking Josh the intern, and he goes, and he's like, "Holy crap! Episode 7 coming out in 2015, head exploding." I'm like, what is this kid talking about, right? And then I pick it up, and I'm looking, and I said, "Mark, get back to your place immediately. We got to shoot a video." Yeah. I am thrilled about this news. Is there anyone here, who doesn't like the news?
It's not wise to upset a Wookiee.
Jeff the engineer firing pipe bombs.
I like that all of us are like at a standstill.
Yeah, no, it's true. And
if you say anything.
And then look, Schmoville out there, tweet in at Schmoes Know, at Tiffany's Tweets, at Matt Mercer, at Ken, at Cospan or Josh the intern, Schmoes intern, and let us know if you're naysaying and you don't like it. Call in. Let us know why, and we'd love to have an open discussion about this.
and tell you why you're so wrong.
Yeah, let me start the discussion here. The reason I'm so excited, like we have been giving George Lucas, and I have been giving George Lucas shit.
The world has been giving George
for
Lucas
years because the prequels are such a letdown. They were just such a letdown on so many different reasons.
It did take me 8 viewings of The Phantom Menace to get that point across to myself.
Right? Yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid, dude. I saw it in the theater 4 times. I had an argument with my friend. I'm like, it's good. It sucks. Okay? but the thing
Lisa,
is,
I think it sucks now.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the reason why you now have so much possibility of what they're saying that they're going to be able to do now, and the fact that he's going to be a consultant, meaning he just gets to put his name on it.
Right.
It's great because have you guys heard the rumor about the Lindelof and what's his face, Brad Bird?
No,
please do tell.
Great rumor. So I don't, and I want a phone call in here for anybody who knows the exact details because I know it in bits and pieces. So apparently Brad Bird and Lindelof sold this script to Disney, whether it be 6 months or a year ago, called like 1952 or something. So and they sold it and it was quiet. They were quiet about it, and they said that it was going to tie into a theme park, and it was going to be a big franchise. Now that's the first time people go. And Josh, do a little research on that, see what you can pull up on it. But it's like, and you when you hear that, you go, well, wait a minute, an unnamed franchise Disney's going to put in to a theme park that they don't really know is proven, and Lindelof, who is a big Star Wars fan, obviously, from all his Lost references. Brad Bird, who worked with Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy back in the day on like Amazing Stories and all that stuff. I can see where people would put that together.
I'm honestly holding out for a Howard the Duck franchise.
Hey, me too.
Me too. This
And
could be
theme
good
park.
too.
Right.
And Howard the Duckland at Disneyland. I've been waiting for that one.
It's nothing but duck titties, really,
Right.
the entire thing.
But is everybody on board with, if that was the case, a Brad Bird Lindelof episode 7?
Well, here's the thing that I think is curious. They're like, the new movie's going to come out in 2015.
Hold on one second, man. Sorry, go ahead.
That's
Tiffany.
okay. That it's going to come out in 2015. So you're like, there has to already be something
Yeah.
in the works.
It has to be.
They're
So
not
you're
like,
like,
all right,
okay.
well, that's done. Anyone
Yeah.
got ideas?
Yeah.
That's right.
Because you're like, they started stuff like 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
If
All right.
not a year ago.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Heard of it. Well,
Hey, man, what's up?
hey, Schmoes, big fan. Wanted to touch on this Star Wars thing.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
So what do you got?
Touch away.
Are you listening?
Please
Did you
touch
hear?
it.
Did you hear the stuff about
That's what she said.
about
Heyo.
Brad Bird and Lindelof? What are your thoughts on it overall?
I think that, well, I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy, but
Right.
I hated the prequels,
Right.
like you, but I
Like
think
any human
instead
being.
of George Lucas changing it to someone else, he should just, get his head out of his ass and just write a good script,
Well, we don't need him to write. See, well,
what's
thank
great.
you for the call. That's
what's great about
the
this.
thing, though, and that's what's great about this. Exactly,
Yeah.
is the fact he's not writing the script. He wrote the treatments. Great. He's not directing it. He's not writing it. It's just going to be new writers, new directors.
And I think the world has a right to be dubious. CM Punk, the WWE champion, that's right, I dropped that reference, tweeted on that day, a new Star Wars film, I'm not falling for that one again. And I think that's kind of the attitude
Yeah,
a lot of people
for the
have.
naysayers,
Yeah.
right.
Got me once.
Right.
I personally got heat stroke waiting in a line for tickets in Winnetka in 1999 for Phantom Menace. I ain't doing that again. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
However, I think everyone's going to be there opening night, obviously.
Of course they are, and there's a lot of people. Though I understand that they were so tainted by that, by those prequels. I get it, but you don't have the same people involved because the thing is,
Right.
when you have all you had for episodes 1 to 3 were yes men surrounding George Lucas.
Yep.
He could go ahead and put, well, I want to put a flying tortoise who speaks like this and says, oh my God, for an hour. And they say, great idea, George.
Yeah, what the example of that, if you don't believe that, and I know we've talked about it before too, the Red Letter Media on YouTube
Great, yeah.
who breaks
And
down Phantom Menace.
so good.
There's
All
the
three of
scene,
them.
yeah, all three of them.
Yeah.
But the best one is Phantom Menace, which is the most. Never mind. They showed
Since
that
my son.
they showed the scene from the documentary that's on the Phantom Menace DVD when they're in the screening room. It's Lucas and his people. The lights come up after they watch it, and everyone's doing this.
Right.
And Rick McCallum is trying to say, the producer, George, it just doesn't have that feel.
Right.
And no one can
No
say
one can
anything.
say it to him, and
And Lucas
that's the
just
thing.
goes, hey,
This
what are we gonna
time,
do?
you can't do that because you know right now, especially after this is 2 days and everyone's talking about it, like it's what election. You know what I mean? Like everyone's talking about Star Wars, and there's an election in 4 or 5 days, whatever.
Let's not forget
a flood, right? Yeah. Exactly.
My power rankings are coming out tomorrow on the website. The Schmoes No Power rankings. Sandy's high on the list because we've all forgotten about it because Ewoks.
That's the truth.
His thing too, being at the top of the ladder is fine, but now that he's having to deal with Brother Disney, if he causes too much of a stink, they'll just make him vanish and replace him with like a Saddam Hussein clone of George Lucas, and no one will know the difference.
But that's the truth, though, is the fact that like he's going to be sitting there, and he's going to come in and go, well, guys, I was really thinking that okay, George. What George said?
We'll take note on that.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Security. The Force is just a blood disease. Boom.
Right. But
the first thing, Episode 7 retcons.
That's the opening. That's the opening scene. That's the prologue. Is him getting shot.
Patrick Dempsey will get out of the shower and go, Qui-Gon who?
Episode 7, the Great Retcon.
That's right. I just made a Dallas reference.
And as much as we're giving George shit, though, too, he had the right sense to sell it. And we can say, because he had the right sense because it's $4 billion. What we did, I don't know if everybody knows this, the $4 billion, I heard this today, is the fact that he's going to be giving a lot of that money to charity and to education.
Yeah,
which I'm not. That's why I'm good for him.
Yeah.
Well, and not to mention the fact that you can talk about how bad the new ones were, but at the same time, you're like, he came up with the whole universe, so you got to have love for the guy, no matter what.
He did, absolutely.
I finally saw him once at the Grove. I was passing by the fountain, and he walked by, and I didn't punch him, and I thought, I've matured.
Yeah.
I've grown up.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Bruce.
Hey, dude, what's up?
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah, I just want the thing about the Star Wars, the new franchise that's coming out in 2 years.
Yeah.
The only thing that's bugging me to hell is the cast. Like, are they going to bring Mark Hamill back?
Great question.
They're bringing Carrie Fisher and Ford. Because I heard that writer of Lucas said that they talked about making the sequels and it would be about Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker in his 40s and stuff.
I don't think there's enough cocaine to bring
that's true. Thanks for the call, dude. Yeah,
or special effects for that matter.
Well, this is again.
Tron, Jeff Bridges and Tron.
Yeah.
Showing that this is my absolute life at this moment, if you want to call it that. I also read some stuff too. Mark Hamill, they asked about this. Someone was going to track him down and find out.
We tried, but
and so he said apparently that he and Carrie Fisher met with George Lucas about
August.
In August.
I read the story in August,
In August. And at the time, he didn't mention the Disney deal. He didn't mention all this stuff. What he told them was he was planning on doing 7, 8, and 9. And he said Kathleen Kennedy was going to be doing 7, 8, and 9. And he said that threw him off because he thought basically what George was going to say to him was, look, we might be doing something else, and it's going to take place like a young Luke, so we're going to recast and do all this stuff. Mark Hamill never said we are going to be in this movie or that. But you don't have that meeting with Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill if you're just going to go, nah, 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 nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You basically, I think that he's going to come back as like an Obi-Wan type, and she might be the queen. How do you guys feel about it?
I think the final scene is going to be all of them on a landing platform, much like a train station, and their little kids are coming out of the Jedi Academy.
No, stop it. Stop it.
They'll have scarves on.
That sounds a little familiar, like a franchise that Disney did not get.
No.
Maybe I'm off base. I apologize.
All right, the phone calls are coming in from Schmoeville here. We got a lot of them. All right, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, guys, it's Matt.
Hey, Matt. So what's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
Terrible name.
I just, no real question. I just need to share my excitement about this because I'm out here in New York City. I'm on Staten Island, and we got hit really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I was actually, I managed to get to a hotel lobby today so I can get some work done. I turn on my computer, and I see this, and my reaction was pretty much yours on the video you did. I was just ecstatic. I forgot about everything that was going on. I was just so excited about just the idea of another Star Wars and the fact that there'd be new blood, in the franchise, and a new writer and a new director, because it's just...
Yeah.
So what you're saying is George Lucas has brought the people of New York and New Jersey hope.
Thank you so much. You know what? Thanks for the call, Matt. And I'm glad again, and our hearts and prayers would go out to everybody in the East Coast, and really hope everyone.
I wanted to thank you. Actually, responded to my tweet earlier, showed some love from Schmoeville.
Of course, man. No problem.
You're all about the love.
We're glad you're all right.
Yeah, and it's funny though. Everyone's talking. Isn't it funny that it took an empire to overthrow the emperor? Isn't that
George has been forgiven for all his sins?
It is. So we're talking. It is all about Star Wars, and we're talking the prequels. We're here with Tiffany Smith, Matt Mercer, Ken Napzok, myself, Christian Harloff, and there's so much to talk about. I mean, we're talking about the cast. Like, do you guys think that Harrison Ford will come back? Do you think? No, I mean, no way. I'm not talking about starring.
The guy didn't want to be in Jedi.
I know, but
he was barely there for Indiana Jones.
But I'm not talking.
I got to be in a refrigerator.
I think in some way they're going to bring back as many as they can.
You think so?
Which I'm psyched about. I want them to be there in some way.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Some way, what they need to do, though, and I was talking about this too, is this really is so important. Like when you're all sitting in the theater. Everybody's going to be doing this. Like you're sitting there, and the opening, you're going to get the goosebumps when the crawl comes up, and
I have them right now. Just
and it's going and it's
sitting next to Matt.
But
I don't know.
Now I'm going to give you two scenarios. I'm going to give you the dark side scenario and the light side.
Yeah.
The dark side is the fact that it opens up, and then it's a fucking CGI fest, and you see a big, almost like the Liam Neeson and what's his face, McGregor in the first one, and then there's bad accents. And you're like, oh no, everyone's going to hold their heads and go. Then you get the light side of it all. And you bring it back, and it looks old school.
Yeah,
and you got the beat up ships
Nolan
and the old music. Well, not just no. We're going to go into the directors and everything too. I suggested Nolan in the video, and I've gone a different way. I actually don't know if he'd be great for a Star Wars movie because I don't know how great how. Not that he wouldn't. He can direct the 7-Eleven commercial.
I agree with you. I don't know that he's the right choice for this.
Right, and we're going to get into all that stuff as far as the directors go. Wait, I want to get Ellis in here to call because Ellis is supposed to call before he goes on the.
He's still at the Red Robin in Seattle, waiting for me to join for the fries.
But we got to go on. Jeff, how long do we have before break?
He's in the movie theater by himself again.
More than 2 minutes. All right, because I want to have Ellis call in because if we can get him to call in real quick, and then we'll get him off the.
He's going to call. He's going to call during the break.
After.
I already worked that out as the Schmoducer. Yeah, we.
You already talked to him?
We already talked.
Oh,
He's going to call him.
Did you just make up that name right now?
Patent pending.
Yeah. I think you need to come up with something else.
What I love about Jeff right now is when he's talking, you can't hear him. All right. So let's get into another call because everybody here is so excited, and it's just really it's a fun time to be a Star Wars fan. All right, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's George.
Georgie, what's up, my man? What's your point today?
I think this is great. This is beyond awesome. And my reasoning is George Lucas capitalized off great ideas and great storytelling, but he was never a great screenwriter.
True.
So for someone to come in, write a whole different screenplay, original screenplay, have a new director, I'd like Guillermo del Toro. I think he'd be awesome. I just think this is great news.
Yeah.
And I'm on the East Coast, and this is all I'm thinking about. So
it's true.
It's awesome.
Thanks, George. Yeah, I mean, it's the possibilities. The possibilities are out there, and what they also said though too. Are we going to break? All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we're going to take some more calls. We're going to talk to Matt a little bit because Matt, apparently you were close into getting an Emperor's voice for the Clone Wars, weren't you?
Yes,
we got to talk about that. We're going to have him do the Emperor's voice, maybe. All right, so we'll be back in a little bit, and we're going to be talking about directors too. Join us in a sec. Oh, God, I could do this show for 4 hours today. All right, we're back. It's the Schmoes Know podcast. It's all about...
I like that everything I do just runs off.
It works. It works. We're here with Tiffany Smith, Matt Mercer, Ken Napzok, myself, and Josh the intern, who's got some news about 1952. Josh, come here, buddy.
He's so smart.
Come around here.
He's so smart, and he brings beer in.
What you got, buddy? What you got?
All right, Schmoes, listen up. So it turns out the Brad Bird, Damon Lindelof Project 1952 is in fact not a sequel to Star Wars. And apparently they... What was the thing?
I just said you were so
Came in so confident.
I started off good. I lost it.
All right, think about it. Come back in your corner.
It's supposed to be great, but it's not Star Wars. Sorry.
All right.
It's actually a sequel to
Star Trek.
Book.
Oh, okay. All right.
You did all right,
nice
kids.
try,
Actually,
nice
Buzz Lightyear, the school years.
All right. All right.
Good job, Schmo.
Live action.
Schmo turn. All right, well, that was good. No, don't worry about it. We're going to play his clip from Russell Brand in a second here, too. You know, and one of the big things, the news that came out when this thing was announced was everyone was so excited because that means maybe now that we can get the original trilogy on Blu-ray. Everyone said, "Oh yeah." And so here's the soul crusher on that one. Fox still owns that, kids. Fox still owns that until about 2020. They own all the original trilogy stuff. So unless they're going to still be releasing the original trilogy in
How pissed
3D
do you
and
think
all.
Fox was when this happened?
Oh man, big time, big time.
I actually think that this was all part of Romney's platform. Is they will only release it if he gets an offer.
Yeah, right, exactly. But let's we were talking about before break. We were talking to Matt about how he almost was the emperor And the Clone Wars.
I feel bad. That was off the record information.
Oh, it was?
No.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I should have said that.
You should have told me that. You should have told me I can't bring it up. But that's
trying to get you to like him.
Well, I brought it up. I do.
It takes a lot.
Well, I actually asked him. I actually asked him to replace you, and you left. So I do like him. Now, Matt, would you be able to give Schmoville a little bit of your Emperor voice?
I'm just trying to remember what kind of lines would be like.
How about we tell Josh the intern that he's in the Emperor's voice that he's failing miserably and that he should have known what he was talking about before he came in here, and you're going to strike him down with lightning now.
I think it's time you brought yourself all to this. You're a terrible disgrace to these offices. And now I will reap the benefits of your stupidity.
That was awesome.
Okay, good. Well, that's how I feel every week. But
You're not getting any more beer, by the way.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true. No, we have. I kid, of course, because Josh the intern's actually doing a hell of a job. And do we have his clip? All right, I want to play Josh's clip real quick. We sent Josh the intern to interview Russell Brand. There's a bunch of reporters around, and so this was because of the theme today. This was the question that Josh the intern asked Russell Brand.
Quick question. You've done a lot of comedies. You did stand-up. Do you ever see yourself maybe doing something like more of like a blockbuster, big budget scale? Like just recently, Star Wars is coming out with a new sequel.
What?
Yeah, they're coming out with 7, 8, and 9.
Why wasn't I invited to play Darth Vader?
Would you like to play a character in a big blockbuster? I can see you as a Jedi. You're very physiologically.
I could be a Jedi.
I think so.
Those fucking slags. Why haven't they invited me to participate?
So if they called you, you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything like that, eh? Anything like that to be a Jedi for your children.
Okay.
Did you interview him? Did you interview him in the bathroom? Did you track him down at the urinal? Hey.
I'm sorry, that was amazing. That was awesome. I think I'm like tearing up a little bit.
Can I ask a question? When you think of Russell Brand, do you think Jedi? Or do you think drunk bounty hunter?
I would do anything to be a Jedi.
You didn't call me to be them Captain Codfellow and
I eat midichlorians. I was shot at. Give me midichlorians. But I mean, it's like
we just got so annoying because all of us just did our impersonation, bad impersonation,
real bad. But Josh,
is there any other kind of impersonation? Really?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I always say this, but I'm like, I think Russell Brand's pretty freaking sexy. I can't.
Why?
Really?
I
like
don't know,
heroin?
It's like the bad boy thing.
That's fine.
And
Do you
those,
like
like,
there are
really,
better
really
bad boys.
tight pants.
Do you watch
Really?
movies with your eyes open?
I was like,
right.
You find him sexy, that's fine. Do you find him funny?
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
There we go.
But let's get back to the interview though, because I actually love the fact that he brought it to the Star Wars thing. I thought that was great. You could tell it was his first one. You know, before Katee Sackhoff, he had never met a celebrity. So that's his.
That's not true.
Well, is that what he's saying in the corner? You don't count.
I'll let you tell the Penelope Cruz story later on. Maybe another
you'll
podcast.
let him. Maybe I'll let you let him. What are we doing here? All right, let's get into the fact that
back on track.
I love the fact that Josh asked him the question, and you did good. We're going to send you more of these things. He's going to go interview Marion Cotillard next week. So those are the benefits of being a Schmoes no intern. So just make sure you know, because these other questions are the same thing. Just one quick question. Then he goes on for about 20 minutes, and then they answer. So let's Josh, good job though. I'm just breaking your balls. It was really good to get Russell Brand, and it was a funny clip. So thank you. Let's get back into Star Wars now, though. Let's get into some potential directors. How about that? And then what I wanted to tell you guys also out there listening in Schmoville, for those of you who are fans of both Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns, both of those guys are going to be calling in to give their take. Chris Stuckman's going to be calling in probably in around 10 minutes or so. Around 8:45, we'll have him call in. We'll talk to him about what he thinks, his news, who he'd like to see direct, and then Jeremy Johns will be calling in around like the 9:15 area. So, all right, let's get into some of our choices for directing around the horn. Let's get at it. And yes, by the way, we will be doing Tweet a Celebrity today. But first, let us do directing. Kenny.
I'm actually doing some producing right now, so I'm sorry. We've got to get the thing for Ellis here. Sorry, keep going around the table. Michael Bay.
Why didn't I have somebody else? Michael Bay.
Hey, I asked you,
Michael Bay.
I could bring in something.
I'll tell you right now.
1,000 Twitter followers were suddenly silent.
Did that just happened?
Wow, Michael, but
It was a joke. This is like my Twilight poster in the G.I. Joe review, huh? No one gets irony? Okay, I get it.
All
I
right.
get it, Internet. I'm
Okay.
out
Are you
of
making
here.
fun of Twilight?
Yes.
Maybe a
that's
little.
what we do on this podcast. Now, there's no way you think that's quality storytelling. Anyway, let's talk about this. Matt, do you have a choice who you think would be cool?
Be perfectly honest with like our caller said earlier, Guillermo del Toro. Partially because he has a great feel for like character and story, but also he has one of the few directors that really appreciates practical effects and a fine blend of that in CG.
I agree with you.
So like if anyone's going to go push in the world of Star Wars from a visual standpoint, he'd be like my top choice.
It's a good one. Tiffany?
Mine's like a toss up.
Who you got?
Well, Peter Jackson, obviously.
Yeah.
I just think he's so great at.
And it's on the same wavelength of the Guillermo del Toro choice too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or David Fincher.
David Fincher's interesting because
a lot of people talking about
because the reason why is he started at Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
And so that's very interesting.
So those are my two.
That's a good
I
one.
don't know if Peter Jackson would actually do it, but
Well, I mean, I think it's not a matter of would he actually do it though. It's deal wise. That's all that goes through. He'd want to do it. I mean, come on, he'd want to do it. I
think sometimes though when you do a huge franchise like that though, like Lord of the Rings, and then another one comes up, you're like,
this is Star Wars.
Can I do? I mean,
and remember, Jackson was it Lucas that visited the Lord of the Rings set, or the other way around, where Peter Jackson and George Lucas actually met on set, and they shook hands and did a tour.
Fought to the death.
Did it have something to do with like Weta Workshop and stuff?
Yeah, something like that. It's in the back of my head. I apologize for not having the facts on that, Harloff. But
it's okay. I gave it about 3 years before Disney purchases the rights to Lord of the Rings as well, and Doctor Who, and they just put them all in one film, and it explodes.
Lord of the Rings theme park.
Yeah,
I'm so.
Oh man,
Schmoville.
They get a line for the Balrog.
I want Schmoville to tweet in here and ask. Give us your suggestions on who do you want to see directing. For me, I would go, now that Brad Bird's been defunct, I would go Brad Bird, but I'd also go Peter Jackson. Matthew Vaughn, I think, would be interesting. I'd like to see Matthew Vaughn do it. I just want to see, my biggest thing is I want a fanboy to do it. Mm-hmm. I want someone who not only would, I don't want someone to give excuses and go, oh, well, George was on the right track with the first three. I want him behind closed doors going, they were terrible. But the thing is,
not behind closed doors. I want him to say it.
No, because then there's politics involved, and you're out. It's like, but the thing is, I just want someone who knows and wants to give that movie that we all want to see. And now I know a lot of people out there are saying Joss Whedon also.
I know.
I'm not on the Joss Whedon.
Be a little busy.
Here's my reason why. Because I loved what he did with the Avengers. I do. My thing is though, and Firefly. People love Firefly and the way it looked. Let's not forget that Firefly was not it was not a successful film. And the thing was, I would like to see him prove himself in the Marvel world. He has one big blockbuster that made tons and tons of money, and he's a fanboy choice, and he's got so much passion, and I love what he does. I just don't think he's right for it now. There's going to be so many movies in the Star Wars universe. There's going to be, they say, 2 to 3 every year. Hopefully, we get a Knights of the Old Republic movie eventually. Give him one of those. Let's get somebody out here like a Guillermo del Toro.
Don't want him working on it because here's
Okay, why?
No, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you read something like Brian Michael Bendis' writing that fits so well with how Joss Whedon works, where it's like snarky, quick, back and forth, all this kind of stuff, and it fits the comic world as well as the film, I can't see that translating to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. I mean, minus the. I do think that Joss Whedon has too many of those, like the Buffyisms.
Yeah.
And I think that. Like,
and I love them, but I just don't think it fits that
in
universe.
7, 8, and 9, no. But I don't know what other. Again, we could see a character in episode 8 that none of us know, because that's the other thing, though, too. Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy came out and said this is going to be an original story. It's not going to be from the novels. It's not going to be from the Timothy Zahn stuff. It's going to be an original story. So we could essentially see a character in episode 8 that we don't know. And this character could be so awesome that we say, holy shit, when this is all over, I'd love to see this guy in his own movie. And that could happen now. And when that happens, maybe that this character is this quirky character and lives in this world that a Joss Whedon could do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he should be doing 7, 8, and 9.
Well, and it's also like, I like to see new directors come in and do things. He did such a great job on that. Okay, stay with the Avengers. There's going to be a crap ton of movies coming out. And blew everyone's minds with the first one.
Hey, move aside, give Uwe Boll a chance, right?
Who's that?
No.
Usain Bolt? No. Why not? Well, Usain Bolt directed.
Uwe Boll. He's
oh God,
adapted
no!
all those
Stop
awful
it.
video game films.
All right, there's some. Here's some
Who's the guy that
Schmoeville
directed
tweets.
The Room?
Tommy Wiseau's episode 7.
Here's some Schmoeville tweets. At Joseph Soldano tweets in that he'd like J.J. Abrams or Whedon. We talked about that. And then we have, let's see, Craig Williams at Movie Buff says Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro's out there. Now, there's a how about Spielberg? Now, here's my thing with Spielberg. I love Spielberg. He's one of my heroes in film. He has come out himself and said he doesn't want to do blockbusters anymore, and I think that's because his heart's not in blockbusters anymore. It's not there anymore. He's in his 60s.
But again, it's Star Wars.
Yeah, well, his whole bailiwick is smaller stories. Like all the great things he's done has all been like more encapsulated, personal, small scale. Anything too big, and you lose the Spielberg feel.
Yeah, I'll watch anything he does in World War II. But right now,
even 1940.
I want somebody younger. All right, let's say we got a call for Schmoeville. Who do we got? Anybody?
Hello?
Hey, man, what's up?
I was wondering, what you guys thought? There's a lot of feedback. What you guys thought about they're releasing the other Star Wars movies with the re-releases, right? What are they going to do about that? When they're releasing the original ones in 2015 and on, right?
Yeah, well, we actually talked about it a little bit. Fox still owns those, so we're not going to see the original ones as far as on DVD until like 2020. But as far as re-releasing and all that stuff, they're still planning on re-releasing them in the theater.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Okay, yeah. So that's so again, let's take right now. We're gonna have we got Ellis calling in. All right, Ellis is gonna call in. Schmoeville, try to stop calling in for a second because we need these phone lines are tricky here. We need Mark to call in, and then we're gonna have.
We're the only show that tells our fans to
shut up. Don't call in. Stop calling. Stop calling right now.
But keep tweeting.
Well, we're waiting for Mark, and then we're gonna have to cut Mark.
Us.
Mark says he's going to take a shit. I'm going to take a shot. I wrote that. I read it too fast. I said he's going to take a shit, and he's going to take a shot.
That's what he's doing right now before he calls
in. He's going to call us from the same bathroom Russell Brand was in when the Schmo intern.
Yeah. Oh, go have a shit. It's my shit.
Look at my lightsaber.
What was that?
That's awful.
That wasn't even British.
I bailed at the end of it.
It turned into something totally different.
All right.
Earl and I were not accent-based comics when we did stand-up.
Now, at Banshee Forever tweets in, do you think Darren Aronofsky would be interesting? Interesting, yes. But
Mickey Rourke as Jabba the Hutt?
All right, you got Ellis calling in. Hold on.
Is that Mark Ellis?
It is. Hey, Mr. Mark Ellis, how are you, sir?
Echo 3 and Echo 7. Hot, old buddy. You read me?
Hey! Well played. So, Ellis, have you been listening anywhere jibber jabber, or are you just calling in?
I'm just calling in to chime in. I'm going on stage in about 10 minutes, so I just want to spend some time. Dude, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm missing my own birthday party with you guys doing the Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, I know. Dude, it's awesome.
I feel like I got grounded, and downstairs everybody's having fun, but I can't leave my room.
Well, I know you snuck out. You snuck out, and you can call in. Just don't let Mom catch you. Now, are there any particular thoughts in general? Like, I know we talked about like what you first thought. Like, tell us like overall what you think like the potential is out there, and what you really want to see.
Well, here's what I'm doing. Here's how I'm kind of playing this. I'm been so excited since you told me the news that I'm just kind of like bathing in the optimistic waters of ambiguity, right? Mm-hmm. Like that sounds like a movie I'm going to watch on Spectrovision. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to get too specific yet. I just want to kind of enjoy the positivity and the fact that anything's possible. You know, like everybody wants to know who's going to direct it, who's going to produce it, who's going to be the key grip. I'm just happy that there's going to be another one.
Well, but I think you have to worry about it a little bit though, because the problem is if they just say, even Kenny was joking about it. They're like, if you wouldn't be happy, there was another one if they said that Michael Bay's directing with the fucking cartoon cat writing it. You still wouldn't go see it. That's like that. Then you're getting Wookiee Christmas.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about seeing Chewbacca around Christmas time, though.
But
maybe I'm in the minority on that.
but you know what I mean, though. It's like, so you have to. I think that there's something that obviously we're excited about it, but you want all the pieces to come together. And Tiffany had said before that this deal, the fact that they were announcing it in 2015. It's been in the works. Mm-hmm. They knew for a while they're releasing episode 7. They knew that it was happening. So they're putting the pieces together. In like 6 months, we're going to hear about a director. In a year, we're going to start hearing about cast. And that's exciting.
Yeah, And in 6 months, everybody's going to be pissed off. They're going to talk about, we should have had this guy.
Right.
We should have had Brad Bird and not this guy. So I just think every Star Wars fan out there has earned the right to just kind of relax and just think like, oh, man, I can't wait until 2015. I know that Kenny probably has Josh the intern already camping outside of Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Josh has my line tent out there on Hollywood Boulevard. We're waiting right now. We got some granola bars and some fake lightsabers.
He's out there smoking a joint with Russell Brand.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a Jedi.
He can still bring us more beer. I think that, like, you know what I'm really excited for, though, is, like, I was thinking about this today. The movie's coming out, and that's going to be great. I'm excited to be in a movie theater in the summer of 2014, or maybe the fall of 2014.
Teaser trailer.
And to see the green screen that says the following previews been approved for volumes, and then to hear the music and see all the. I am so jacked for that.
No, but you know what scares me now too. By the way, guys, check out right now. Go on schmoesknow.com, and Mark Riley just wrote a whole roundtable thing about. And the reason I brought that up is because Mark's point of. Remember the trailer for Phantom Menace? We were excited for that one.
You snuck in to meet Joe Black to get that first.
That's the truth.
One for me, Joe Black. I really like Claire Forlani. And then that trailer, that movie. I'm still waiting to see that movie. That was in the trailer.
The trailer. So I mean,
dude, the trailer was great. I actually paid to see Wing Commander to see the second trailer for Phantom Menace, and I can even top that. I took a date at midnight on Thursday to go see The Incredibles. So I could see the Revenge of the Sith trailer. Needless to say, she now lives in Nebraska somewhere.
I like that movie.
Well, The Incredibles.
Seriously.
Wait, you didn't like The Incredibles?
Yeah,
I like The Incredibles too. Oh, he's a sourpuss these days. But Mark, let me ask you a question before you take off, because I know you got to do your yuck yuck. So, do you what's
Again with the yuck yuck.
Who is your favorite choice right now for a director, and why?
First of all, thanks for calling it yuck yuck. You really do justice to the profession that you used to occupy.
I told them how lame it sounded.
I don't care. I'm in 2 beers deep.
I like your idea with Peter Jackson. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you go into maybe a little more of the realm of reality, I think actually the guy who did The Incredibles. I think Brad Bird is a fantastic choice.
You don't know. There's a rumor, by the way, that was shot down. I'll tell you about it when you get back. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it.
Okay, cool. Well, then just have Michael Bay so I can see you.
Stop it! You stop it! Hey, we're going to play a clip of your show, your stand up before the end of the show today. Ken, I know we're giving away 2 CDs for box office. Can we give one away today?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, give them away. It's called Get to the Castle. And actually, for whoever doesn't win it this week, there's like a whole Pandora station. It's called the Mark Ellis station that debuts next week in anticipation of the release on November 13th.
Great.
So,
all right, dude. Well, thanks. We'll see. And you're back next week.
I will. And to everybody, peace out, mofos, and to Katie.
Oh, it's bizarre. All right, I'll talk to you later. She's not here, by the way. All right.
And I'll hang up on you.
All right.
In my mind, he did that whole phone call on stage.
What do we have? We have like 13 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
You're looking about 7.
How many?
7 minutes.
We have 7 minutes left. All right, then let's do we're going to have Chris Stuckman call in because I want to get his take on all this stuff too. And then when Chris calls in, we'll hold him through the break though too because I want to have him on a little longer than 7 minutes. But Chris, if you're out there and you're listening, give a call in because I want to talk to you about what you're thinking right now. And because he's an aspiring director as well, so I'm sure he's got some pretty cool choices out there.
Himself.
Yeah. What'd I say? Himself?
Self emotion.
Well,
you know. But I mean, there's so many cool things though too. So and there's a question out there right now that someone had asked on Twitter regarding the releases as far as when they're coming out. Now they're going to release theatrically, from what I hear with Fox, the same way that they planned. Like I think, and it's not going to be the Han shot first. We're not getting Han shot first until, if we do ever get it, it's not going to be until after 2020. So just to clarify there. So anyway, all right, moving on now to we have a lot of stuff to talk as far as is anybody here Old Republic fans?
As far as the games go, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, they'll just the lore and everything. Like the Knights of the Old Republic to me, and I hope Chris Stuckman's calling in from the number I think he is, because otherwise I'm hanging up on him. But this is the Old Republic. Darth Malak, one of the best characters. That story, Empire Strikes Back, is my favorite Star Wars story of all time. Right right behind that,
Malik and is Bayonet or Revan? Darth Revan.
Revan is in
Revan
that.
is- okay.
It's Revan and Malik is a back and forth. Next to Empire Strikes Back, the Knights of the Republic story is my favorite story in the Star Wars lore. So eventually, I would love to
Mine
get
was
some.
the Ewok TV movies.
Will you just stop? Will you just stop? All right, we're going to get into Knights of the Republic a little later, but joining us now is one of our good buddies, another YouTube movie reviewer, Chris Stuckman. Chris, what's up, dude?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, man.
So how about yourself?
So, dude, I don't know. Have you been listening to the show?
Yeah, I have been here since the beginning. I'm a good fan.
Okay, cool. So,
He sounds so excited. I'm a huge fan.
Yes, Christian.
yeah, he's just like, I've been listening. I did my work. I did my
Right
work.
to your poster this morning.
Now, do you have any particular thoughts as far as anything that we've touched on so far, or the directing aspect, or what your initial thoughts were? The floor is yours. Just kind of sound off on it, because I know I haven't heard you haven't posted a video on it yet, so I'm kind of interested in your take.
Yeah, well, initially when I saw it on Facebook, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was, some Halloween thing.
Right.
This is not real. But then it was everywhere, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually true. So I started looking it up, and everyone's really said, and in regards to director's picks, everyone's really said some of the best ones, except for a couple I was thinking of. It's just that there's no way these are going to happen. There's no way.
Don't you dare say Nicholas Winding Refn.
Shut up. Drive was fantastic, and you have no taste.
No, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be good for this. We would have the Jedi staring at each other the whole time. Sorry, go ahead.
With a really cool soundtrack.
Yeah. All right, so who would you want?
I was thinking Ridley Scott would be amazing, because I know that you thought Prometheus was okay, but I watched the Blu-ray special features of that movie, and there was hardly any green screen in that entire movie. Almost every set in that movie was 100% practical.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
I mean, I don't think anyone really blames Prometheus on Ridley Scott.
Right. I agree. I think it was more Lindelof too that did that one too. Yeah, Chris. The thing is too, Ridley Scott's fantastic and probably one of the best directors out there. My only question with him is going back to the Spielberg thing too, is I don't know how attached he is to the huge blockbusters, and I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan he is. The next director you have for this movie has to be a Star Wars fan that wants to give the public back what we lost.
So Kevin Smith is what you're saying.
I completely agree, because here's the thing. So one of my friends was like, they're going to ruin Star Wars and everything. I was like, no, that already happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened in 1999 and in 2002
and 2005, right.
Again. That happened. So what I told her was, I was like, look, whatever director they get to replace to make these next few movies, they were probably disappointed with the prequels too.
Right. Yeah, of course, and that's the case.
They probably sat in their room, like holding their heads, wearing a Star Wars shirt, machine, like crying, like not accepting the truth, and just like all of us.
Right. So who would you have besides Ridley Scott?
People have already said Brad Bird, and I'll tell you why I think he'd be great. It probably won't happen, because all the directors I'm thinking about, like Peter Jackson and J.J. Abrams and Brad Bird, all these people have like committed to projects already.
Right.
Like I have a feeling they're actually going to get someone. I have a feeling that they're going to get somebody who no one really knows about.
And if they did that, I would not be opposed to that. If they did that, let's get one of the guys from the Old Republic games, because if you look at those videos, if you guys have not watched the trailers for not the Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic trailers, you got such a sense of Star Wars when you watch those trailers, like when the Sith attack the temple, when Alderaan's being attacked and the rebels are there, and like you connected to all the soldiers, you connected to who they're fighting. The old school score was playing, and even the new score from the prequels, they made it work, and those guys got it. And whether or not they hire those guys, in particular, they have to hire people like them. You know what I'm saying?
The reason.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
The reason I think Brad Bird would be perfect is because he's a person who understands practical effects. I mean, Tom Cruise was really dangling off the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, in MI4 and stuff, and he's a director who understands fun. Like that movie was fun. It wasn't just a bunch of action sequences. It was actually a lot of fun. Like it had a good spirit to it, and he tweeted about Star Wars too. On his Twitter, he was like, well, today Twitter broke with Star Wars news, and I was like, wow, amazing if he did that. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Sorry.
Who actually cares about it.
It's interesting you say fun because that's a word that hasn't been used in a lot of articles that have come up recently. With everyone's excited for new material and
Well, now like it's going to be darker and like you said, Nolan.
That's what was missing from the new trilogy, the prequels, was no one was having fun.
Yeah, everyone was solid because they couldn't do it because Lucas was so tied up in the the green screen. All right, Chris, hold the line though, buddy, because we got to go on a break, and I'd like you to stick around if that's cool.
No problem.
All right, cool. So we'll be right back. Schmoes No Podcast. Matt Mercer, Tiffany Smith, Ken Napzok, myself, Chris Stuckman on the line. We'll be back in a second. I like it. All right. We're geeking out. All right, guys, it's back. Schmoes No Podcast, talking everything Star Wars, Disney. We're here with Matt Mercer. We're here with Tiffany Smith.
Guys, no one's mentioned my C-3PO Mickey ears.
We're gonna get those. We're here with Ken.
I wore a costume today.
I love it. You didn't wear the Wonder Woman, so you let us
Whatever.
know.
T-shirts,
all right,
ears.
Fine.
That's equivalent.
Ken Napzok, and joining us on the line is YouTube movie reviewer Chris Stuckman. All right, Chris. So this is something that came in. Mark Riley, a writer on our website schmoesno.com, that if you guys are listening right now, check it out. It's a great article. It's on the front page. It's all about this Star Wars stuff. And he just tweeted in, and Tiffany also had said it at the same time, a great suggestion that we totally forgot about was Neil Blomkamp.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, District 9.
Yeah.
And apparently, from what Riley says, he's a huge Star Wars fan. He's young, he's hungry, and the fact he was touted to do the Halo movie, and then the studio dropped the ball on that.
And all the craziness of Peter Jackson working with him in District 9, and so it's like Peter Jackson's
Jackson's
can't do
guy.
it.
Yeah, but he's
so
Peter Jackson's guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Any one of Peter Jackson's guys, whether it be Guillermo del Toro or Neil Blomkamp, I am in. Chris, how do you feel about the Neil Blomkamp suggestion?
Well, that's really good because he also understands see, District 9 had a lot of special effects, but they were fantastic.
Yeah.
And he had a good way of presenting it around, dirty, trashy environment.
It was organic.
It felt like that was an actual place.
Exactly.
And I'm curious to see this Elysium movie he's doing with Matt Damon. I've heard really good things about that, and if that was really good, then I think that would be a good choice.
And I think with him, whether it be 7, 8, or 9, it's inevitable that he eventually does a Star Wars movie now. Whether it be the extended universe or whether it be the Knights of the Republic, if they ever do it, something. I think we'll see Neil Blomkamp do it.
Well, and the awesome thing was when they did District 9, it was because they didn't know that he could do a film with such a big budget. They didn't want to give him all that money to do Halo, so it was like, let's do this smaller one.
And
so
he crushed it.
If he can nail it on that, I mean, those are the kind of directors where I'm like, people know who he is, but he's not so established that, it's. I just think he'd be a really good pick.
All right, now Chris, before I let you go here, I want to ask you two things. And the first being, if you now with 7, 8, and 9 coming out, if you had your ideal. Whether it be story or a cast or who you want to see in it, what as a Star Wars fan are you hoping for with 7, 8, and 9?
Okay, basically the same thing I wanted out of the prequels. I wanted characters.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have a main character because if you watched episode 1...
I hate sand! Sorry, that was Anakin. Sorry.
No,
that was painful to my ears.
We talked about earlier Red Letter Media's video. He mentioned there is no main character in episode 1.
Right.
It's
absolutely.
It jumps back
protagonist
to Obi-Wan, to Qui-Gon. Have good characters. Have less horrible green screen environments. Have a director who understands how to work with actors instead of saying, faster, shorter, whatever. I just want a story that seems like it's fun. Some sort there's human blood injected into it. Not just some stale room, some atrium where they're just talking. I just want that magic again. You're never going to get the originals.
No, but you can at least get the love because the first 3 were made with love. The second one was made with dollar signs in the eyes and trying out new toys. And I think that these new ones are going to be made with love. Now, Chris, again, last question before we let you go. Now, every year, or the last 2 years, we've done a award show called the You Reviewers Awards, and this year we're all going to be back again. And I just to make it public here too, you will be joining us once again, correct?
Absolutely. I plan to travel to LA this year.
Breaking news there.
There.
And so we'll invite you now. We'll invite you publicly. Will you be joining us live in studio on the Schmoes No podcast?
I would love that.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Nice to actually be there and have a microphone in front of me.
That's right. Chris, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing some more of your videos. Check out Chris Stuckman at youtube.com/Chris Stuckman. And he's a good buddy of ours. And thank you so much for calling in.
No problem, guys. Have a good show.
All right, bud. All right, so before we get Jeremy Johns is going to call in a little bit here, but before we get to Jeremy, we've been doing this thing every week to where it's a news segment on the show. The last 3 times that we've done this, we're 0 for 3, but we're going to keep trying. Jeff, are you ready?
No response.
Unbelievable.
Nothing.
This guy just
got nothing.
Lets me hang with my.
Tweet a celebrity.
Well, you just talked all over the damn thing.
I was singing it.
All right, one more time, please. Sure. Thank you.
Tweet a celebrity.
That's right. It's Tweet a Celebrity, and fuck was that? All right, so here's what we're going to do. Everybody is going to write down a celebrity's name. We're going to tweet out the celebrity. Schmoville is going to tweet the celebrity and tell them, hey, you should come on the Schmoes No podcast, and you just bombard them. And hopefully we rope one of these guys in sooner or later. So once we announce it, you guys in Schmoville, you go out there, and Josh McCouga's in the building. He's no longer tweeting. He decided to show up hammered. All right, so Josh, we don't have time to have him write down. But all right, everybody, now we put our stuff in for Tweet a Celebrity. You dancing monkey, get out of here!
There's some
all
dancing
so
happening.
Here we go now. So let us have the where's the thing? Josh the intern, where are you?
It's down there.
Oh, I got it.
Josh gonna pick? Josh the intern?
Josh, come on. Josh the intern will pick.
Josh, not McCouga.
Not McCouga. No, you know what? Let McCouga do it. McCouga. Stick your
He
face.
looks so excited, by
He's
the
so
way.
excited. Smells like a whorehouse. What do you got?
At David Wayne.
David Wayne. All right. I don't know who the hell that is. Who's David Wayne? Who put that in there?
Children's Hospital.
Oh, stick your mug in there. What are you, an amateur?
Hey, buddy.
Who is
Wet
it?
Hot American Summer, Children's Hospital. I did that one with Paul Rudd with
And you know who put this one in.
10,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Because of his costume.
All right, fair enough. All right,
And I
fair
was
enough.
Ken Marino from Wet Hot American Summer yesterday for Halloween.
Oh, okay. So look,
You
it
guys
was,
should
it
have
was
been,
fate.
like, hanging out.
It was fate. Okay, all right. So there you go, guys. That's that. And Schmoville scratching their head. It's at DAVIDWAIN. Tweet the shit out of him. Tell him, hey, David Wayne, you need to come on the Schmoes No podcast. At DAVIDWAIN. I think this is our most realistic one. All right.
Random accounts and even powerful people have a Twitter account. It's time to tweet a celebrity.
Some people like my singing.
Some people do.
Not anybody here. All right, all right. Here we go now. So now Josh McCouga has raided the studios.
Stormed in.
Yeah. You can get a beer. Josh the intern. Can we get Josh McCouga a beer? That's Josh the intern. Yeah.
I feel like Imperial troops have entered the base. Imperial.
All right. Here we go. So all right, we're back at Schmoeville here, and we're talking about.
Should we talk about actors who we want to see appear in these films?
Absolutely.
Unspecified roles, of course, but maybe we can have some fun casting. Who would be a younger or different Han Solo?
Yeah, I mean, look now. That's a great question. Now the question is, if we're gonna do a thing where we're not gonna bring in the old characters, if Luke's 60 years old talking about, oh, I remember when Han Solo did this, and then we see
a great movie,
and then we
ancient Japanese.
Yeah,
gather around.
He's just on fire with the accents today.
You should gather around, younglings. I'm going to tell you a tale.
Now the question is, if let's say that they wanted to decide to do, they don't bring back Mark Hamill, they don't bring back the characters that we know, the actors that we know, and they decide they're going to bring back Han Solo. Do you put Michael Fassbender? Do you put Josh Brolin? Like, who's your
Brolin, huh? I like that.
Who do you replace? That's my brother's, by the way.
Or you find an unknown.
Ellis and I were talking yesterday, and we think it'd be awesome if the movie was the original Han Solo, Harrison Ford, with a new cast around him. It's like he's
no way, but he's not tuned in enough anymore, dude. Did you see the fourth?
I'm already working around the clock.
The fourth Indiana Jones.
Don't talk about
I know he just.
We talked about earlier.
He's so checked out.
He didn't want to be a
We can put
Jedi.
Shia LaBeouf in it.
That
was a joke, just so everyone knows.
Han Solo should have died, which actually I think was a valid
stop
point.
Stop the presses. This is a great tweet, and I totally agree. At LJDUBAAL. says he'd love to see Viggo Mortensen as a wise old Jedi.
Oh, dang.
As a wise old Jedi. That is a great
okay
tweet.
over there? You're good? Okay.
Yeah.
I love Viggo, so I'm on board for that.
But again, not as like Han Solo, but as a wise old Jedi. You could see him all peaceful with the hood, and then because that's who he was when he showed up as Aragorn.
When he was,
Strider.
So,
are there books for the next three?
What's hunting.
There are, but
they're not doing the Thrawn trilogy, correct?
They're not doing any of that stuff. Lucas basically they came out and they said that it's the next 7, 8, 9 are going to be all original stories from a premise that Lucas had created. So it's going to
now when Timothy Zahn was given the permission to extend the universe, Lucas said, "You must give me 5 years after Jedi to the start of your book." So there's 5 years that Lucas said, "Those are mine. I want those."
It's very curious how that's going to work. At Cabzilla06, I love how Josh McCouga just shows up. He must have heard about the free beer and the pretty girl. All right, so now
those dance moves always work on me.
All right, now I'm excited. He's just do that just for the next minute, just dance around the
dance monkey dance.
Oh, I'm loving this energy in here.
Wow,
that's what McCouga does. He brings bombs.
That cheered me right up, yo.
Yeah. Now I want to have our buddy Jeremy Johns call in. Jeremy's going to call in here in a second, and I want to get his take on this too, because he already thinks we're acting like a bunch of drunk Irishmen. So I'm very curious about what his take is, what he's talking about it. On his channel he did a really good video as well. He was on the Joss Whedon train though, so I'd like to hear.
George McCann tweeting in that you just cannot recast Han Solo. I would hate to see that happen.
I kind of agree with Georgie on this. I don't think you can recast them. I think. I don't know, but Jeremy Johns actually before you read it.
Jeremy Johns, he smells like vanity over a deja vu.
Well, let's let Jeremy's.
This is what I have to look at. The two of them sniffing each other.
Jeremy's calling in, so we're gonna have him say it instead of that tweet, because that tweet's really funny.
Still happening.
Jeremy, if you're out there, calling in, dude.
Sniffing each
Jeremy
other,
Johns uses
guys.
Twitter followers to hook up with chicks.
Fact.
But the thing is, in LA, that works.
Wait, what does he do? He just follows hot chicks and tweets at them?
No, he's at a bar. She's like, who are you? And she kind of gave him the cold shoulder. He's like, bitch, I got 147,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then he banged her in the corner.
No.
Yeah. So that's how it works in LA.
So ridiculous.
I have 12, so you know what my nights are like.
Yeah. You and Josh the intern going to hunt down Russell Brand.
What?
It's hard to find him. He's at Nick's or Lola's, just blacked out, face down in the bar.
That's the truth.
That's where Josh interviewed him.
The only place people think he's talented.
This is total chaos, but I love it. Jeremy, what are you doing? Where are you, dude? We're waiting for Jeremy Johns to call in here.
Wait, can we talk about Dark Horse a little bit?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
So, being a comic book fan, something I'm a little bit nervous about is the whole Marvel, Disney. Dark Horse is doing such a great job with the Star Wars comics right now that it seems like it's kind of inevitable that when Disney gets a hold of everything, they're just going to push it right over to Marvel, which I'm not sure how I feel about.
Eliminate the Jews.
Whoa. Wait, now, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Someone was drinking before they got here.
Go back to dancing. Start dancing.
I wasn't following the comic storyline as well. Does it delve into getting rid of the Jews?
I don't know.
Emperor
I said
just
Star
walked into the room.
Wars, Disney, and Dark Horse. He threw.
But Walt Disney's an anti-Semite. Am I bombing here?
Just go hit on girls and tell them how many Twitter followers you have.
All right? Just tell him have security. He just showed up. It's like Tom Cruise to the top of the ceiling.
We're gonna Karen let him in the door. One of the Toad
Not even on
head
this
honchos.
network
We're
anymore.
gonna have to hand a picture to her of Josh and say, "Do not let this man in."
Don't let him in. Just fucking parachuted through the fucking top. Oh my god! All right, so Jeremy's still trying to call it, guys. You got to because the lines are busy, so we got to.
So what period does the Dark Horse Comics covering? What are they covering right now? Could that be adapted? Huh?
I mean, I just feel like they're gonna have to start from scratch. They're gonna have to start over if they put it over to Marvel,
Right.
And I just hope it stays at Dark Horse because they do such a good job with keeping it dark and keeping it to the storylines that everyone loves.
And Jeremy Johns, hey, you there, man?
Oh, holy shit! Am I on?
You're on. What's up, man? How are you?
Okay.
Nothing much. I love how I love how you guys set the stage for me to already disappoint the hot chick by saying Joss Whedon is fantastic.
I like that I've just turned into the hot chick with no name.
I'm pretty sure he meant me, but that's fine too.
Yeah. Well, if you because we missed out last time you were here, he actually. Jeremy was in studio when we had both Sean Astin and Katee Sackhoff together. So that was the last time he was on, but I think he's been back since. I don't know, on the phone. But anyway, Jeremy, it's good to have you back. Jeremy, for those of you who don't know, another great YouTube movie reviewer out there. Check him out at youtube.com/Jeremy Johns. And Jeremy and I had a conversation about this on the phone. I think it was either today or yesterday. We were talking about just the initial thoughts. And no, I'm not to shit on your choice, but you had some good points. You had some good.
But if I may,
no. I'm not shitting on him. I'm not because I. Nice.
I thought you were gonna make like a pooping noise.
I know something. No, but we had some good. He had some good points on it. Can you go, because we gave the reasons why we didn't think we'd like Joss Whedon. Can you give the reasons why you like Joss Whedon?
Well, I mean, when I think of Star Wars, I think of Han Solo and Millennium Falcon, and to me, he's done a lot of that in Firefly and the show Serenity. I think he, in terms of dialogue and characters, nails that aspect. Now, it doesn't change the fact that there's that whole Jedi shit and rebuilding the Republic and whatnot. But I'm like, I guess that's kind of important for Star Wars also.
So Jeremy wants Han Solo and Lando Calrissian in an apartment in their later years, picking up chicks at the bar.
the space buddy cop version.
But I mean, in terms of you want the grand scope, literary masterpiece of Star Wars, and I would think Peter Jackson would be a good one.
Yeah.
But he's also done shit movies too. Like he did The Frighteners. The man did.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
But I'm just saying that like Joss Whedon's done some crap too. So it's one of those things where I think what Tarantino should do it. They should call it Django Fett Unchained. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
if you thought you didn't impress the hot chick before,
the Twitter follower thing isn't going to work on this one.
well, the good news is that when you come in, there's an opening dancing spot right next to Makuga. So,
oh, holy shit! Is that Makuga? Does he smell a stripper glitter and beer?
Yeah, he smells a stripper glitter and beer. That's absolutely true. Okay.
I love that guy.
Well, so I know another thing. Jeremy, you're a big video game guy as well too. Now, did you get into the Knights of the Republic at all?
Yeah, sure. I was playing the Republic not too long ago, and I totally agree with you about whoever directed those cutscenes and trailers for the Old Republic. Yeah, they should probably have something to do with the new Star Wars movie.
I think it was a 14-year-old kid in After Effects.
Yeah, the thing is though, with those, I think the characters that they have in those movies, and Matt brought up a point too, like. One of the things about the old school movies, they had fun, and Chris Stuckman actually said it too, is that the characters and everything was there, and you had clear-cut villains, clear-cut heroes, and in this Old Republic lore, you have all of that. And you have, like Darth Revan and Darth Malak, for Star Wars fans, they know this is some of the best villains of all time. Easily. I mean, and it's like, so let's...
Who were some of the heroes in that genre, in that era?
You had...
What characters have they developed for that?
I don't want... It's a spoiler if I kind of... I don't want to spoil it by saying that. That's the thing. It's
Doug Scott.
Tell everyone to plug their ears.
But Cougar's face is priceless. I really hope the camera was on him for that. But Jeremy, now I'm at, like, the reason why... Like, do you think now, because, they announced that there's going to be a Star Wars movie now every 2 or 3 years. So let's say you do 7, 8, and 9, and then once those are over, you open it up. Now, depending on the success of 7, 8, and 9, you could do 10, 11, 12, or you could just go off in a different direction. Do you think we're ever going to see a Old Republic TV series, an Old Republic movie?
I think, because like you said, we talked about this before, I think my default stance for doing something as big as the Old Republic is put it on like HBO and give it 12 full-hour episodes a season and just do the shit out of it, just like they do with Game of Thrones.
Yep.
So basically, it's going to be Star Wars starring Buscemi.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's true. As Kenny said, it would be Star Wars starring Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a Jedi Knight right there.
He was the original cast of the Emperor.
Yeah, he is the Emperor. The thing is,
the TV show, the live-action TV show has been in talks or in the works, and Rick McCallum said it was too expensive to produce. So that's been going on. So now we might finally see that. I think I'm equally as excited for something like that.
Yeah.
Because I love the Clone Wars animated series, which on Cartoon Network.
Right.
They've done a great job with that because George Lucas didn't write or direct that.
Well, yeah. Well, enough of that. We know that already. As far as,
now you want to defend the guy. For the last 10 years, this guy's
but he
been
did
like,
it right, though.
That
Look,
flannel shirt wearing jerk off ruined my childhood.
Wow.
But Hedgehog. But he did it right. The thing is, he gave it up, and now it's like he's. You know
what's great though is by like the third one of this next trilogy.
Yeah.
your little daughter is going to be old enough to appreciate how
I know.
much you hate George Lucas. Not the movies, just how much you hate George Lucas.
I've had this moral conundrum ever since I read this article where they're like, George Lucas is out, yeah. And then he goes like, oh, well, most of the profits he's making, like you mentioned earlier, are all going towards philanthropic endeavors. He's just giving to charity.
And he wants education
to people. And I'm like, oh.
And what else he did?
That's
The other
awesome.
thing he did a couple months ago, where he was trying to open up a studio in his property. I don't know if you guys know the story. He was trying to open up his own studio, and in the general area that he's around, where Skywalker Ranch is, I think. And what's that?
It's up in Northern California.
Northern California, yeah. And so they and the people who own the land were like, no, can't. You're not going to open a studio. Can't do it. So he goes.
Yeah,
He's like, all right, fuckos. So you know what I'm going to do? He put in low rent housing.
Yeah.
And he put in like he just bombarded it with like just people who could afford it, and like just put it all over the place, and just fucking here you go.
Yeah.
You want my
it's great. It's
studio?
smart.
I'm going to bring in poor people.
That's true, and that's what he did.
All those people that from the underground or the underwater city in Phantom Menace, they moved up. Everybody hated him so much.
I get so scared when he goes to the mic now, but that was awesome.
One Jewish comment.
Yeah,
I thought this is Matt Monty Thom just tweeted in Star Wars and HBO. Do you really want to watch Jedi screw every episode? Good point.
Well,
Wait, I got someone tweeted something about casting people.
There.
Wait, Jeremy, what's that?
No, I was saying, like, why not? Jedi sex? Yeah.
No, well, that's the thing, though, too, though, is that
a lot of Jedis masturbating while they cry.
Well, Jeremy, the thing that, again, like being a huge Star Wars fan, what they did in episode 1, 2, and 3 was, for the most part, it was all pretty kiddish, and it was very cartoony. Do you think now?
Jedi.
Well, Jedi was cartoony, but we still have the dark themes with the Emperor and everything. But the question is, do you think that we're going to get a more adult type themed movies with 7, 8, and 9?
Yes, I think hopefully the movie is in the hands of realists.
Everybody else is shaking their head. Everyone else is shaking their head.
It's a wave.
I'm on Jeremy's side on this one, but everyone else is shaking their head. Let's get everyone's point in a second. Let's hear Jeremy first.
I think that it's in the hands of realists who know that people who grew up with Star Wars are now adults who love Star Wars, and I think that they will roll with the target audience. They're not going to make it rated R, but I think they'll make it about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie type thing. I see Hot Chick shaking her head. What's she doing?
I like that you just compared it to Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, I mean, just because it's Disney now, and so people think, oh, Disney, it's going to be Mickey Mouse. I'm like, well, they've done shit that has tone to it.
I don't think it has anything to do with the morality of Disney more than it has to do with the fact that, yeah, sure, the older crowd will go and see the movie once or twice, and they might pick up their favorite action figure.
Who's spending money in the theaters?
It's the 6-year-olds that are going to be picking up every action figure and wanting them for their birthday and Christmas and going to want to see it 8, 9, 10 times in the theater with all their friends from school. That's where the money's always been for the franchise, and that's where it's going to target.
I've never wanted children, but now I want to get one going so I can have an ability. So I can be like, no, I'm buying these for my kids. That's why I need a basket full of Star Wars toys.
We got to go. We're going to break in a second here, but I want to in like 5 minutes. But I want to talk to you a couple things too. We're talking about Knights of the Republic. One of the things too, we haven't talked about any of our sponsors at all, and we have. If you look at our video right there underneath is GameFly. So if you guys have never played Knights of the Republic, I suggest you go to GameFly and check it out. It's essentially it's like Netflix, to where you go and you have. You
have 8,000 titles to choose from, multi-platform games. You're not just locked into a Nintendo 64. You got things.
You could rent Assassin's Creed 3, which is epic.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it's worth it.
Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, Resident Evil 6.
And that too.
Mercer. All that stuff. And
send them some checks in the mail.
And besides that, if you go down there, you see all the links there. Check out Ripped Apparel also. You see that, like, look at the Star Wars shirt. At this point, you know what Ripped Apparel is. It's like you type in Schmoes during the, for the coupon code, you get $1 off the shirt. They're awesome shirts. I wear them all the time. My wife's getting sick of them. I don't care. I keep buying them. I love them.
You already married me, honey. I have to wear another Stormtrooper shirt.
That's the truth.
Like the one he's wearing today.
That's right. So, I mean, they're really worth it. You should check it out. So, yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
On the video game thing, we got that Star Wars video game that's coming out, Star Wars
1313. Yeah.
Which is supposed to be darker, more of a...
That's the guy you got to talk to about this. You talk at Jeremy.
Yeah. I'm glad he's still here. Maybe I brought it up for a reason.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeremy, what do you think about that? Star Wars 1313. It is more darker. It is more adult from what we're hearing.
Man, I'm going to disappoint the shit out of you. I didn't hear about it until 2 seconds ago.
Really? Wow.
You're too busy trying to...
That shocks me. That really... yeah, dude,
he's trying to get more Twitter followers.
I've been busy with Assassin's Creed 3.
That's fine. No, but
Assassin's Creed 3.
But you've never heard of it. It's
I really haven't. No.
Okay, it's like the darkest Star Wars video
It's
game.
a bounty hunter tale that takes place on the 1313 is the level of Coruscant.
Yeah.
Deep down, it's the whole story around.
It's like
that.
Dread.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did hear about the bounty hunter game coming. I just didn't know it was called Star Wars.
Stop
1313.
pretending
That's
like you
interesting
know.
That, the Force Unleashed was hailed as the darkest.
Yes,
Star Wars
and
game
that's
ever
I'm
happened.
so glad you brought that up, like real quick, because Jeff, we got 3 minutes. Okay, let's talk about that real quick because let's talk about the Force Unleashed because that to me, besides Knights of the Republic and Empire, as far as a story goes, is everybody familiar with the Force Unleashed?
Mm-hmm.
No, so basically
I turned down many dates to play it.
Now the Force Unleashed, the game itself is whatever. It's the story itself is that Darth Vader. You finally get to see him wipe out all the Jedi. He's finishing up, and he basically adopts this little kid and teaches him the ways of the dark side. Kid grows up, starts wiping out the rest of the Jedi, and throughout a couple of events, winds up going against Vader, gets betrayed by Vader, and becomes like the start of the rebellion that we've seen in the other movies. And it was such a great story. And it's like, do you think
until the second one, but
whatever the first one
until they revealed his name is Star Killer.
That was originally Luke's name.
Which is a tie-in to Luke's original name.
Do we think, Jeremy, that that movie will ever come to fruition?
Will it ever? Probably not, but I'd love to see it. Even the dude who does the voice for the Vader's apprentice, he could play him, So all the
I agree.
there, but
They
will we
actually
ever
did
see it realistically?
it was a face scan of the actor. That
Yeah.
used his face
That
for
actually was him. Yeah, for sure.
Which is probably why Leon looks like you. That's freaky.
Creepy. All right, so a couple news. Jeremy, real quick, I asked Chris Stuckman this as well. You reviewers going right around the corner. I just wanted to bring a couple news, some stuff with that. Now, this year we're doing, last year I think we did 1,500 subscribers in order to be considered to present. This year we're doing 2,000, correct?
Yeah, we've upped it to 2, I believe, yeah.
Okay, and then we'll be doing that again. You'll be coming here to LA to co-host?
So you're saying there's a chance.
Jeff's tuning you out, but Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. I have a special announcement. Katee Sackhoff's going to be calling in at around 9:40 or so. So we're going to update and see how she's doing. Jeremy, thanks again, dude. We look forward to having you in LA, and thanks a lot for the call.
Awesome, man. No problem.
Cool, man. All right. What the hell is this? This isn't Star Wars. This is circus music.
I think this is from the Christmas special.
What the hell is this?
Am I on a carousel?
Can we? Where's the camera? Where's the little camera? Can you tape how happy he is? Right. This is ridiculous. Is this from this Christmas special? What are you doing?
I'm combining elements.
This is you don't do. Well, you don't do that. You just stop. You don't have a microphone for a reason. You stop it. You do your reason.
He speaks with his music.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Well, we're back. We're back. All right. Love it. Love
this
it.
is the beginning of the
we're
Disney
back.
Star
All
Wars matchup.
I gotta play this ugly face. This stupid face. There you go. Hold on.
I feel like I'm in a parade.
All right, okay, stop it. All right, that face you see, as much as I break his balls, this is a really big accomplishment. Mark Ellis, he's got his first comedy album out, and it's the guy's he's a really funny guy. I love doing the show with him, and I'm proud of him that he got this thing. It's up and running, and he's going to be giving away this on Box Office Sunday this weekend. But we're also going to give one away today at the end with phone calls, but. We're going to be Mark, Jeff. You have a clip of Mark's CD. All right, well, let's play a quick clip, and then Katie's going to call in after. But let's play a clip of Mark's CD.
From Wake Forest, number 22, Mark Ellis.
Hey, Schmoville, it's your old pal Mark Ellis here. I'm very excited that my stand-up comedy album, Get to the Castle, is coming out and will be available everywhere November 13th. Here's a quick preview. I think I'm single. I live in Southern California. I have a long-distance girlfriend. She lives in Narnia. So that's a ways. I walk into an STD clinic, they just look at me. They're like, dude, you don't have anything, all right? Mark, you can't catch herpes watching Babylon 5 in your parents' basement, all right? Condoms are 99% effective. You know, it's 100% Star Wars bed sheets. Get the fuck out of the clinic. Mark Ellis, Get to the Castle. Available on iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Spotify, and everywhere else. November 13th. Mark your calendars. And now, back to a 2 beers deep Christian Harlow.
Well played. I actually am 2 beers deep. Look, it's funny with him, though, too. The kid's got impeccable timing. I'm like, all right, let's see how long he's going to go. And before I can even finish that thought, it was over. The kid's good. The kid's good. All right. So, Mark, and another way, too, once that comes out, the Amazon link on the bottom of on our Toad Hop page there, you can buy all your stuff, all your Amazon stuff. Click there. Mark's CD will be available as well. All right, so we're going to have Katie call in pretty quick, and I want to get Katie's thoughts on, not only Star Wars. We'll see how she's feeling and all that stuff, and finally Tiffany and Matt will be able to say hello too, because I know they're big fans as well. So as soon as she calls in, we'll talk to Katie. But let's Josh Makuga had brought up a good point here. A lot of people are a little upset because of the Disney Star Wars marriage, and I'm not because. Look, they did do the Avengers, and they did do Marvel, and they were able to have that serious tone. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be all Timothy Green.
Matt over here kind of looks like Loki.
He does he's got a Loki thing going. It's true.
His Halloween costume.
Just don't Hulk out and smash him all over the studio.
Please don't. I really no. God.
It's true. All right, I think we got Katie here. Hey, Katie, is that you?
Hi.
Hey, how you feeling?
I'm okay.
Oh, so all right. So we told Schmoes that you're in bad shape, but we're there. Everyone wishes you well, and we hope you rest up because we want you to get better.
Oh well, thank you. Anyone who gets migraines knows that sometimes driving is the worst thing you can.
Yeah, no. You need to rest. But
we tried to send Josh the intern to pick you up, but. It didn't work out.
They sent Josh McCougar to probably wreck the car.
Only to bring Bud Light. Yeah, we actually have the keg working too. Finally,
where it's like a purple cocksock or something.
That's what he has on right now.
Something like wildly inappropriate.
It's the migraine meds.
Well,
I'm ready to pick you up now, ma'am.
Get in the car. This is the key.
I'm sorry. Is that a purple cocksock?
That's
okay. I should go with you.
We were going to do a whole podcast on Star Wars, but it's actually on the purple cocksock. But no, actually, we're talking about Star Wars and everything too. And I know that you were. I mean, Katie also has ties into Star Wars, as she's a voice on the Clone Wars.
Yes,
so,
I am the first female Mandalorian warrior.
That's pretty cool. Are you on this season as well?
Judy Skywalker.
I am. It's been really hard with my schedule to kind of get back, but we've been working on times and dates, definitely to try and get back, because I know there's some more episodes that they want me to do. So
has anything with this deal come up with that too? Because I'm very curious with the Clone Wars on how it all ties together, because Clone Wars is owned by Warner Brothers. And right. So I'm curious, if I know that they're going to continue on with it, obviously, because it's a popular show, and it'd be silly not to, as far as the brand and all that stuff. But
of course,
does it? Have you heard anything? Does it affect you at all?
I don't think I'm a big enough part of that show to have me be one of the first phone calls that they make. I'm sure
Hey, Katie, this is George Lucas.
It would be through the grapevine,
right?
I'm not getting phone calls from the boss himself, telling me what's going on.
Right.
Me and Jon Favreau, we're on the same call list. He's got to call us both at the same time and be like, guys, this is what's happening with Clone Wars.
Did he direct your episode?
Huh?
Did he direct your episode?
No, he's actually plays one of the characters.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I think. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the actual news, because I know you're a big Star Wars fan as well too. So when you heard this
first go at it, not the next.
Well, yeah. That's everybody in the world. Now, what are your initial thoughts? And so you hear this this bond now between Disney and Lucasfilms and Star Wars.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on it?
In all honesty, all power to them. Just make it good. I think that there was something gritty and strong and realistic about the first three that were powerful. Yeah. And I think that the problem that the new ones got into, I don't know if the writing was the best. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's almost like that they special effects themselves to death.
Yeah.
And you know, like there was just something so gritty about the first three that were like, you know, it's and they worked with everything they had at that time, but it was just amazing. And then, you know, you flash forward 20 years or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden we have all this more technology at our fingertips, and it's like we I think it's a crutch, you know, and I think it's texturally it takes away from some of what made Star Wars so beautiful in the first place.
I agree, because you felt in the original trilogy that this stuff had been there for years. You felt that
sure.
Yeah, you felt that the Death Destroyer and honestly, to bring a parallel to your show, what Battlestar Galactica did on Sci-Fi Channel was that you felt that it was all real. You felt these real relationships, and it focused more on the characters and the relationships and the overall themes more than it did on, like you said, just the special effects. There were cool special effects on both your show and the original trilogy, but it didn't rely on them.
Right, exactly. You know, it's because I think that you know, our show, and very much like, I don't really know what the story was of Star Wars, but like, we didn't have a lot of money, so you have to you have to cheat, you have to you know, cut corners and make things work, and right. So I don't know, you know, my fear with Disney is that, you know, all of a sudden, like, you know, Tinkerbell is going to like fly through or something like that, but like. Honestly, like as long as you know, Princess Leia isn't in like you know, like her bikini isn't purple now, I think we'll be okay. But like my biggest thing is that everything with Disney is so bright.
Yeah, yeah.
And I worry because that's not what this world is.
I agree. And go ahead, Josh.
Well, I always thought with the Phantom Menace and, you know, the prequels, that the feeling I got was that they had invented this, and then because of like the Jedi destruction, it went back to like the grassroots thing.
Right.
As I was trying to like justify,
you're trying to justify it,
that stupid green screen.
And I think, and again, bringing back to Matt's point again, that Matt Mercer had brought up the point that in the original trilogy, you could tell that they had fun and they were having a blast. And in the original trilogy, it wasn't there, and that's because when you watch the behind the scenes and you see Natalie Portman talking to a fake alien in the blue screen, it just you don't buy it, and she didn't buy it, and then we didn't buy it because of that.
Right.
And as an
buy her talking to Zach Braff in Jersey.
I want to work with a fucking Ewok.
Right. Well, that brings me up to my next question though too. As an actress, not as a fan, how excited does it make you? Because not only are they just going to cast 7, 8, and 9, they're going to be doing Star Wars movies like every 2-3 years, and they're going to be looking for badass bounty hunters or badass Jedis. You know, like the sky's got to be the limit.
I think I just did Riddick, so I proved that I can play a bounty hunter. But like, I don't know, like, who do you have to blow at Disney to get in the new Star Wars?
Josh the intern just got hired.
I think first off, you can't say blow and Disney in the same sentence.
You can't even say blow.
Man.
And Mickey like freaks out. Like if you say blow, he's like, I don't even have a dick. Like, what are you talking about?
Suck my dick.
No.
Ma'am, you're going to have to leave the park now,
like,
ma'am.
We need to come up with a short list of who I need to, like, you know, get on good sides with.
Right. Well,
that was a start.
Well, but that's a start. But the question that also, I mean, again, like, are there ties into, like, let's say the Clone Wars with people who are working on it? Is it so different of an entity or are the worlds somewhat connected to where you could say to someone on the Clone Wars, hey, I would love to be considered a blah, 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 you know, around those lines? Are they just that far disconnected?
I don't even know. You know, I wish that this business and the world worked that way and things were fair, but things are never fair in this business.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of, and it never makes sense either. So, you know, it's kind of one of those weird things. Like, I don't know, like, you know, I always thought that Starbuck, like my Starbuck was the closest I would ever get to playing Han Solo. So I was like, you know, like I kind of already did it.
Right. But if someone
just shows you could do it again.
Right. If someone knocked on your door and said, "Look, Disney wants you to be in the new Star Wars movies," I don't think. I mean, I may be wrong.
I think I would turn it down and say, "No, I'm sorry, sir. I've been to space."
Exactly. Right.
That's not going to happen. I would say, where do I sign?
Right.
Like, am I a rock? I don't even care.
Now, this is a point that came in just now, and I'm on this guy's side, but it'll never in a billion years happen. At David Fries tweets in, I've been getting my balls broken because I want a rated R Star Wars. All the diehard fans are over 17 anyway. Now I can say there's no way in hell it's going to happen.
It will never happen.
The closest you're ever going to get to that if
fucking cosplay at Dragon Con.
right, or
That's
if,
like NC-17.
right, no,
Adrian Curry on a Friday night in a slave Leia costume.
right. If
It's true. It's true.
if they do an actual TV series, like if HBO did get their hands on like a Game of Thrones, Knights of the Republic, that's the closest you're going to get to rated R.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I see that happening because usually, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who owns the television rights to it because a lot of times it's owned by two separate entities like Battlestar.
Yeah.
You know,
NBC, right?
Sci-Fi never had the feature rights, therefore we didn't do a feature.
Ah.
You know, so that's why they're doing the new one.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Right.
And you have
so
nothing.
It'd be curious to find out if Disney got those rights too,
Yeah.
and then if Clone Wars is tied into that.
Well, I know Clone Wars is Warner Brothers for sure, and I don't think they have that. And the everything original like from 1 to 6, Fox still owns. They still own.
What? Right? They didn't sell their library, did they?
No, they did not. They did. Well, they get access to it. I think once 2020 comes around, the Mayans will have killed us by then anyway. But
oh no, Scott just said that Lucas sold everything. When does Disney own the library now, Sadie? He said yes.
No, he doesn't. No, it's not. That's not true. Fox still has the rights. Fox has the rights for all the old movies up until 2020. That's why they can't release. They cannot release the original trilogy, like the unedited ones, until 2020 because Fox still owns all the distribution to the 1 through 6.
Got it.
But
Disney also did get some of George Lucas's flannel shirts, though. That was
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I mean, again, there's just so much potential out there, and so much. We were talking about directors and people that we'd want to see in the movies. And here's one tweet, Katie, that see how you feel about this one and whatever. How you can start and everybody can sound off on it. Alex Heaps writes in, "I'd like to see James Cameron do a Star Wars. All the special effects he does with the story serve the purpose, and he could do well with Star Wars."
Yeah, it was, Cameron isn't available for 5 years?
Yeah, maybe even more.
He writes dialogue as good as George Lucas, so I don't.
Whoa, that's not true. That's not true.
I mean,
you know what? You know who I'd like to see get a hold of it? Like somebody completely out of the box. Like, I mean, not Tim Burton because his last movies have been kind of like tank.
Tim Burton,
Edgar Wright. Like somebody darker, somebody more like known for what's the guy? Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, we said
You know, somebody interesting that that's almost on the darker sides of things, like Guillermo del Toro. Somebody.
Yeah, we all agreed on.
As long as like Luke Skywalker doesn't come and go like, oh
yeah. Right, yeah, it's true. I am midichlorians.
Like go with Bruckheimer, and like all of a sudden you've got like it's like Pirates of the Caribbean, like in space.
Right. I mean, I think the good news. I think the good news. You listen.
Johnny Depp, like Jabba the Hutt or something.
Well, everybody talking about though. Gore Verbinski, no thank you. Everybody, though, again, listening to Katie and everybody here talking about it, the good news is everyone is excited again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God, for sure, right?
That's the best of it.
It is one of those where were you win moments, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is sad to say.
No, it's
Probably
not just
why
you.
I'm still single at 36.
This is the biggest news. This is not, and I'm not, it's not movie news. This is some of the biggest news to come out.
This is news. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, we're all relatively the same age. Like, I grew up watching Star Wars, and it made me want to be an actor. Like, I was so, like, brought in and taken over by that world and just the idea that wasn't real, and somebody somewhere made that up, that it was, like, my goal in life to be able to do that. So I just get excited by the franchise in general. I don't care who has it.
Right.
I just want to know what they're going to do with it and see if it's, because even if it sucks, it's still good and entertaining.
Right. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen. Have you ever seen? We talked about it briefly before. Have you ever seen the Knights of the Republic trailers online, Katie?
I don't even know what that is.
All right.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Bad actor?
No. No, you're not. It's video game stuff. Just check it out, though. Just check out any of those trailers, and it'll give you the excitement of Star Wars again. But look, I don't want to
sign up for GameFly, and then
I don't want to keep you on that long though, because I know you're hurting here. But
no, it's okay. You're having a good time? Are you drinking?
Of course. It's Thursday. It's Thursday night. and we did our.
It's Thursday night. Did everyone have a good Halloween?
We did, but unfortunately, you did not. What can you tell us your story? What happened last night?
No, I went to Universal and went to Horror Night.
Yeah.
But it's the strobe lights and all that shit.
Yeah.
I think for a person who gets migraines, it's probably not a good place to go.
Right. And we're just like staring at it like Ryan Gosling in Drive.
Well, slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. It was very weird. Like every time, like these guys were running around with chainsaws. Trisha Helfer was sobbing her eyes out because she didn't expect it. She honestly thought she was getting cut in half. Like it was not.
Sound like the nightmare.
Sounds so fun.
Katie's holding her head. Trisha's screaming at the top of her lungs. It's like a bad horror film.
Edward James almost
Trisha's
went, but
sobbing,
he's dead.
Sobbing.
Oh man.
Like it was. She was going to kill me for telling everyone, but her eyes were just streaming tears. But she was laughing.
Wow.
Well-
She was so like it was just that primal like instinct to like just sob.
Well, all right, look,
Afterwards, you all went to Bubba Gump for shrimp. Maybe that was the problem.
We went through
Mini
McDonald's
donuts
on the way
afterwards.
home, and I got a dipped cone.
Oh, perfect. Well, Bunny sends you his love.
Oh, Bunny.
All right. Well, Katie, we're going to see you next week. Feel better. Please take care of yourself, and and we'll talk to you very soon. And don't drink. All right, I'll see you later.
I wish this was from that.
Yeah, no, I feel better seriously, and don't push yourself.
Don't do drugs, kids.
No, don't do drugs.
Hashtag,
All right, see you later.
hashtag purple cocksock.
All right. All right, guys. So that was Katee Sackhoff. It just, again, everyone is excited. Everyone is thrilled. It's really cool. Let's take a couple calls for Schmoeville. We got about 10 minutes left. I want to open up the lines here for Schmoeville. Call in your thoughts, what you want to talk about with Star Wars, things that are on your mind. Don't just call in and say, hey, have something to say because it's Star Wars.
You know, it'd be awesome if everybody gave in like their story about when Phantom Menace came out, because everybody has that story.
But that's going to get depressing.
Yeah.
That's going to get depressing.
No, like the anticipation.
I know, but that's we have it now. We don't need to hear about it. We have it now.
Come on,
It's
I got a
there.
good story.
Well, and I know, like,
You just want to tell your story, you prick. All right, so you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, this is Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
Hey, Patrick.
So what's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
Director choices.
Yeah.
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah. So what's your director choice?
All right. Everyone's saying Christopher Nolan, Peter Jackson, J.J. Abrams, and I'm completely against them.
Okay.
Tell us why.
All right.
Yes.
Because so the old Star Wars, like Katie was saying, they're gritty, they're fun, but I feel like all those guys, they're too, and the word I would use is pristine.
Okay.
They have too much of that flash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And a guy that don't crucify me for this, but a guy
Be careful.
I think would be pretty. A guy I think would be pretty perfect with that humor and that kind of grit, but also sleek feel. I think Jon Favreau.
Okay. That's not a horrible suggestion.
I don't know.
That's not a horrible suggestion. I thought you were going Stephen Sommers on me. I was gonna.
Hey, the first Iron Man.
Porn stars and play all.
Which one? Yeah, Brett Ratner. Oh, God. No, I mean,
Hey, the first Iron
thank you,
Man?
thank you
Come
for your
on.
thank.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we're there.
I do
Okay
not.
with that.
Thanks for the phone call, dude. I don't blame Jon Favreau, by the way, for Iron Man 2. I don't.
No.
He was rushed. He was rushed on that movie, and Favreau's a good director. And the Cowboys and Aliens is I don't know why he attempted that one. It just.
But Iron Man
I
2
blame
was
him
like.
for that.
Yeah, I blame him for that one.
That's allowed, I think.
Yeah, I blame him for that one.
Iron Man 2 was like Lorne Michaels trying to make like Friday Night Live. You followed up on like the most unbelievable success in the because listen, I didn't read the Iron Man comics. My dad was a huge comic reader, didn't read Iron Man comics.
Right.
You have this huge success. And then you obviously have to turn around Iron Man 2 in like 6 months. It's just not going to work.
It was tough, and so. But I think Favreau's going to be a good choice again, and I feel Favreau's a fan, and I feel Favreau would put in the work. He's all right. I mean, again, is he my
James
first
Cameron
choice?
would just do it
Tiffany's
on-
shaking her head. He's not my first choice, but I think that if he's given the job, he's not going to Michael Bay, Stephen Sommers it.
I think he would do a great job. Do I think he's the best choice? No, but I also think talking about the ratings, where it's like, okay, the prequels were kind of like what I would expect Disney to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like Favreau would have done something
like
so
that.
we need someone.
I think he knows. But Favreau's an actor. Favreau's an actor and knows how to work with actors.
Yes.
George Lucas did not.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Faster, more intense.
Yeah, what do you got?
Miss Movies tweets in outside the box.
Yeah.
How about Michael Mann?
Star Wars
set in LA.
It goes back to that point of you got to have a fan, and I just don't think Michael Bay's a fan of Michael Mann.
Michael Mann.
What did I say, Michael Ban?
If you got Michael Bay, how sick would like the under 360 shot be of Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber?
Stop it! No one would watch that fucking movie. All right, hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Oh, hey, it's John Maffio here.
Hey, John, what's up, man? So what do you want to talk about, bud?
I was just wondering, like, for a lead role in the movie, how about like Michael Fassbender? Wouldn't that be a great idea?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we mentioned Fassbender briefly. Like
He has his own
Fassbender.
lightsaber.
Yeah, the question with Fassbender is, could he do like?
I thought he said Michael Madsen. I was like,
Wow.
Michael Madsen would be
Wow.
But yeah,
You
Fassbender.
were so proud of yourself with that joke.
Light penis.
I wrote it in my living room today, and it's like, I'm going to get that opportunity.
And you did. But the poor kid wants to know, do we think he could fit into a Star Wars universe? Absolutely. I mean, he's going to be in Assassin's Creed. He's going to be in everything.
Yeah.
He could play a Sith Lord. He could play a Jedi. So yeah, Fassbender and Tom Hardy, too. Is another guy who would be great. All right. Hey, you're in...
it's me, Luke.
Hey, you're in Schmoes. It's right. Darth Bane, who is actually a Star Wars character. There is a Darth Bane. So who do we got in Schmoville?
Hello.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, this is Lance. I was gonna comment on something that Katee Sackhoff had mentioned earlier.
Sure. What do you got?
Yeah, she mentioned something about Disney. I believe she used the term being brighter.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I was thinking about that, and that makes me think about looking at the X-Men or Iron Man 3 movie that's coming out. That trailer, and then you got Thor: The Dark World coming out. That's gonna have darker things. That makes me
good points.
think about,
Great points.
How Disney is going to be involved in maybe putting their foot in that dark tone.
It's a great point, Lance. Thank you very much. No, that's an absolutely great point. Had Disney not acquired Marvel, I would be more skeptical about this deal. But the fact that you look at everything that they've done with, like Lance just said, with everything that they've done so far, what they've also done is they've allowed Marvel to make the movies they wanted to make them. So whoever they hire for Star Wars,
they knew when to let go and stand back.
Yes, and they need to do that, and they didn't do that originally with Pixar, and that's why they almost lost Pixar. But they got them back when they let them do their thing. Who's the dude?
That's also the Muppets movie, the reboot.
Muppets
of that
too.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
really like,
They've been doing it right.
Wreck-It Ralph. Everything that's coming from Disney right now is amazing.
Who directed that?
Especially the
shitbox?
turkey legs.
Who directed the John Carter
too.
sniff my ball back?
Yeah, George McCann brought that up too. Just the failure of John Carter scared anybody.
Well, no, because it was the director that I blame. I just hope they don't hire him to do it. Who?
Andrew Stanton.
Andrew Stanton, right? Who did Nemo? Who did Nemo? Yeah, they're calling the Schmo turn. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Spencer.
What's up, dude? What do you got?
What I got is some suggestions for actors.
Sure, throw a couple.
Well, first off, before I go off, I just got to say I love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Great. I
Thank
love your
you.
reviews.
Thank you.
We love you too. I've just been on a Game of Thrones marathon.
Yes.
My 15th marathon I've done on that show.
Well, we're not going to have a trivia with Tiffany because she'll blow it.
Shut your face.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's Lord of the Rings, actually.
Oh, sorry.
But I think, how awesome would it be if frickin' Khaleesi was like the next Princess Leia?
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, the question. Thank you so much. Do you have another actor that you want to throw in there, or is that the one?
Well, actually, directors. Can I throw out 3 names?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ryan Johnson, who just did Looper.
Okay, good one.
Duncan Jones, who did Node.
Right.
And then Gareth Edwards, who did Monsters, who's now working on that new Godzilla film.
Okay, good one. All right, all good choices. I mean, the sky is the limit. And what about Rupert Wyatt? Rupert Wyatt, by the way. Who?
Who does Emilia Clarke play in Game of Thrones?
The Khaleesi.
The Khaleesi.
Khaleesi, yeah. I feel like that whole cast is like a hotbed for the movie.
I want these
everyone.
I want these new movies.
Getting wrapped up. We're getting wrapped up.
I want these new movies to say. I want someone in the new movies to say, "Now that's what I call pod racing," and then I'll be happy. I'm out.
All right, Emperor Palpatine is shutting us down over here.
Leonard Jr. will be in the next.
So, all right, look, this was a really fun show, and I swear to God, we could have done it for like 5 hours. There's so much more we can talk about. Matt Mercer, who I'd like to apologize to because we wanted to really talk to you a lot about this video game stuff and just got thrown at us. Would you come back, please, when we do the video game? We'd love to have you back and talk more about because it's so curious what you do, and I really want to hear more about it. So please come back and join us again.
Can the next time he comes on, can we all be Wet Hot American Summer people?
Yes, please.
And Tiffany Smith.
Yeah, Tiffany Smith, G4.
We will bring you back. We owe you the Sackhoff meet. We apologize.
Yeah, you give me
Thank
Josh
you for filling in.
I want to thank Josh, the intern, for kicking ass and going to those press conferences for us. You really did a good job, man. Thank you, and you didn't embarrass us yet. Josh McCouga, thank you for coming in here and dancing around like a maniac.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it. And you can follow Josh at Josh McCouga. Ken Napzok at Cospan. I'm Christian Harlow for Jeff the Engineer. And again, youtube.com/schmoesno. Check us out on movies.com and facebook.com/schmoesno or SK Podcast. That's it. Peace out, Mother Fs.